Well, good morning. This is beginnings of a new project right here on the board. I'm going to sort of show you this as it begins. My popularity for the welded animals seems to be growing in the family. Anyway, there's a couple of people in the family maybe one person that kind of likes them. Anyway, this is the next project right here. I have a special person that's in my life. It's a little girl. It's a granddaughter. And she likes dogs. She wants a dog so bad, and they don't really want her to have a real dog at home. And so these pieces right here that you see in this picture, I'm going to try to make her a dog. I know it's hard to see a dog out of this, and it'll probably be hard to see the dog when I get it put together. But I'm starting out with the body. That's a spring from a 1955 Chevrolet station wagon. Again, that came from Bill Friend. Helped him put those old new springs in, and he gave me the old ones. So for that, I'm going to go from there, and I'm going to make these into the legs. And these, I don't have any idea what they are. There's some kind of a concrete form set that's got, a nut and a flat piece of metal. But I'm going to bend those around and fasten them onto that spring, and then these are going to be his legs. If I do it right and I weld that nut on there, I might even be able to have adjustable legs on it so he can grow as he gets older. And then, of course, we need the head. And I hope I can cut this piece of pipe into a short piece that's going to go in there for the dog's head that we'll put his eyes on, and then his mouth maybe be in there, because of course in his mouth every good dog has a tongue hanging out. And this is the end of an old wrench I had that I cut off, and I was going to use it as a clapper and a bell so it could swing back and forth. But I never got that far along with that bell project. It just didn't want to clap. And all the dogs need a mouth or a nose. And so this is the table. This is a leg off of a bed that I picked up along the road somewhere, and I cut the angle iron off, and I used that for another project. But I'm going to try to modify that somehow to make the dog part of his mouth anyway. It might fit into a pipe or something. And then, of course, on the end of his nose, or on the end of his snout, I guess that's the dog term would be snout. He would have this maybe as a nose. I don't know. If I find something that looks better, I'll use it, but this is what I had. These are going to be his eyes. These are just round pipe plugs. I think a ½ inch, but I'll use these for his eyes. We'll see where we put them. And finally, a good set of ears. Now, this is where this dog is going to be special. It's car parts, man. This is 55 Chevy spring. And now I found these for the ears. And these are door handles out of a 1940 Chevy pickup. You all know where that came from. It's sitting back over here behind me. But these are the old ones. Probably worth a lot of money to have them re-chromed and everything, but these are going to become dog ears. I'm going to hang on there, and he's going to have a couple of droopy ears, one on either side, I think. We'll see how this all goes together, and we'll make some more video as we go along with the project. But there it is, the start of the dog. And how could I ever forget his tail? This is a half of a rock pick that I cut in half. It made the beak on the shovel egret that I made. But now it's going to become a puppy dog tail. I think it's perfect. Well, here we are so far. We've got the front legs on, the back legs on, and the tail. I'm ready to get started on the head. it's going to be kind of a problem. I've changed my design on it. I took that that bed foot wasn't going to work from that bed rail, and so I've switched over to, I'm going to try to make the snout, his muzzle, out of some joist hangers that I found from an old project that I had laying around. It'll take quite a bit of fabrication and welding and grinding, but we'll see. I think it'll maybe look a little better. We'll do a little video on that later. Well, Brenda's mowing, so you'll hear the mower running, but just to show you not all things work out the way they should, I tried to make the dog's muzzle or beak or mouth out of some deck hangers, and it turned out looking like a dinosaur or something mechanical. Well, I'm gonna cut that off and try again. Well, from the original materials list, we had to make some changes. The ears, the door handles of the car didn't look quite right on the ears, and so we just took the center out of that hose reel and bent them down and gave him some floppy ears that fit pretty good on him. The eyes were the pipe caps we thought about, but I welded a washer behind him just to give him some eyebrows. The snout, I like the snout so far. That's a piece of conduit that I cut in half, and I flared it out at the end to bend to fit the head size, and left it small on the nose end. I even put some teeth in it. I don't know if you can see a teeth. There's a tooth. I even put some teeth in it. Those are steeples that are welded in there. Now for his nose, I think I'll cap that off and then put a couple of maybe 1/4-inch nuts on the end of it for nostrils. And I don't know what else he needs. He's looking pretty good to me, huh? We'll be ready to show him to Chloe after a while. Well, I think the dog is ready for paint and complete. We had to make some changes. Like I told you, I think earlier, the ears, those handles just didn't look right on me, and I had the center part of the snail where I cut the center out of that hoop, and I bent them down and around and made some ears. I think they fit just right. And the tail, I didn't like the way the tail was pointing straight up in the air. Somebody's made some comments about it. Brenda didn't like it. And so I cut the tail off of his back, and I put it down there and angled it back just a little bit more so he looks a little more relaxed with his tail. And then, of course, on the other side, trying to turn him around. Yeah, he's got a tongue. Had to have a tongue welded in there. It's hanging out. It's a hot day. He's panting. And then on the nose, I put those, well, you can see those. I got 2 nostrils on there. Those are, I don't know, some kind of nuts I found back there in the drawer. I don't know what size they are. But I glued that. I welded those onto a washer, and then welded the washer onto his nose to close up the end of his nose. I think he's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with him. I sprayed a little black paint on his nose, and I'm gonna try to make him look like Matthew's dog, Ironomi. This is gonna be the Ironomi to match him. So I got a white tip on his tail already, and then we're gonna paint some brown and white on him. But so far, I think it's coming along. And I had to take a break from working on the dog, and I think this might be the first good deed I've ever done. I don't know. I hope there's more than that in my life, but that's a piece of a wheelchair that we had at the dialysis unit, and that's the footrest. And that piece right there on the bottom of it, right down here, broke off. And I was lucky enough to be able to clean that up, weld that back on there. So I did stop just a little bit, take a good deed, do a good deed. Well, here it is, the version of Ironomi, Matthew's beagle dog, pound dog. This is Ironomi, and he's all finished. We'll take a little look at him. Got his tongue painted red. The dog's kind of a speckled color. Look at the front of him. His nostrils. Shot of him from this side. Well, that ends this project. It was kind of an interesting thing to do. It was fun. I think it turned out pretty cute. I like the dog. I like that little dog of Matthew's is just the best dog in the world, I think. It's been a great day today. It's just been cooled off today. It's been, quit raining. The sun was shining. The wind wasn't blowing very hard, but it was a cool breeze. Easy to praise God on a day like this. I've been talking with some friends that they're getting better with health problems that they might have. We're working on it. We're praying for them, and they're going to get better. And well, God be with you. And God bless you. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Thanks for watching and looking at this dog.